Hey, what's up, guys? It's your girl Kia. Let me move my camera over. New angle. Who this? Okay. So listen, I'm back. I'm on a roll with content, and it seems like a lot of really interesting things are happening. And one of the things I want to talk about right now is so random. And that is this whole Candace Owens debating Andrew Wilson. If you haven't heard about it, it has been going on social media since I want to say the last maybe 3 or 4 days, where they have been trying to schedule a debate between Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens. Candace Owens has been very vehement about her anger with Erica Kirk and what happened to Charlie and how the person who's been accused of doing it has been a scapegoat. Andrew is very much against that, has called Candace crazy, so on and so forth, or whatever. People have been trying to get them to debate forever, and they have not been able to do it. So recently there was a back and forth, and they're trying to hash out the agreement on the debate. And it got weird. And it got weird because Andrew's wife, Rachel, got involved. And if you're familiar with his wife, Rachel, she also goes into whatever podcast. They both go into whatever podcast. She is a anti-feminist. She's a female voice in the manosphere. She's a debater. She wrote a book about the lie of feminism. She's very popular in right-wing male circles. She's just a very interesting character. I'm not a fan of hers. I just she's one of those people who is do as I say, not as I do. And I'll explain all of that in my kind of thought process on Rachel. But it's very weird. But for some reason, she decided that it was a good idea for her to jump into the debate. And before I share my screen, I kind of want to make sure I'm bringing up the original. Hold on. I want to make sure I'm bringing up the original post because it was a post that was made about the debate. Got it. Okay. I'm going to start here. And then I'm going to share my screen and we're going to have a quick chat about the back and forth that happened on social media with this guy, Sean Semenko, trying to get it scheduled and kind of going back and forth with people's terms and how it kind of dissolved into Rachel embarrassing herself on behalf of her husband, which she's kind of done a couple of times. She tends to jump into his arguments and it's just very odd. So this is the original tweet about what Candace is looking for. $500,000 if in person Andrew has a child with a Candace. Candace is pregnant. Live streamed, no smoking. Blake Neff, Andrew Volley, or Erica Kirk must say Andrew's debating on behalf of TP USA because that's Candace's whole thing is that Andrew is kind of like a shill for Turning Point USA. I don't know if he is or isn't. That's just her thing. She wants him to admit it. Fine. This is all Twitter, social media, back and forth. No big deal. They're trying to schedule the debate. Candace nor Andrew are really saying a whole lot at this point. They're just hashing out things. So for some reason, this is what Rachel Wilson decides to jump in. She harped on the no smoking thing. Mind you, Candace is 7 months pregnant. So she says, LOL, no smoking, typical woman nonsense. I'm surprised she hasn't Me Too'd anyone yet. What does that even mean? What does it mean? First of all, most people, not even women, men, right wing, left wing, a lot of people with common sense don't want you smoking in their house. This is not the 1950s where everybody was cool with smoking. You smoke on the airplane, you smoke in the doctor's office. It is not cool now. I don't even want to know what Rachel and Andrew's house smells like because he is a chain smoker. You can see every single debate that he's done, he chooses to be at home. From what it seems like to me, he chooses to be at home because he's smoking. He's probably comfortable at home because he gets to do what he wants, but he's smoking. He had the interview with Joe Rogan. He smoked the entire time. He is a chain smoker. When he's on the whatever podcast, he's not smoking in the room, but he does take several cigarette breaks while this podcast is going on. And that is a fact. You can go back and watch it. So her making it seem like everybody is cool with being around a chain smoker getting secondhand smoke, and that makes, typical woman nonsense, whatever. Then she says, I'm surprised she hasn't Me Too'd anyone yet. Basically trying to equate that her saying she doesn't want smoking around her and her unborn child means she would accuse someone of inappropriate touch, or she should, or hasn't yet, or I don't every and Rachel is going to try to say that the LOL and the smiley faces are supposed to make it seem like she's just joking or like she's just kidding, but we all know she's not joking nor is she kidding. This is what happens when anybody comes at her husband. Even if they're not cussing or screaming or anything, even if they're just having a regular back and forth, this is the reaction that they get from her. It's just nonsense and crazy. And it keeps going. So of course, Candace is just like, yeah, no, you can't smoke in my house. And other people are commenting like, what's wrong with you? And she says, yeah, who clutches their pearls about smoking? Zoomer soy boys, maybe, or the type of women who report everything to HR. Sweetie, it's 2026. Nobody likes smoking like that. Nobody, people are starting to get annoyed with people who vape. So a cigarette smoker or a cigar smoker in your home, that's not some Zoomer soy boy. That's a regular American, Christian, Catholic, Jewish, black, white, Asian. Nobody wants all that stuff in their house or in their face. Like, and again, once again, she's wrapping in that trope of women are just complaining about everything. Look, they're complaining about smoking. Oh, she's gonna go to HR. And she just saying nonsense. And I almost think she's saying nonsense to, one, drum up the people who don't like Candace, and two, to go off that whole I'm right wing, and as a right wing, my husband's an alpha male smoke, and in 2026, alpha males smoke, because most of the alpha males I've seen do not smoke and work out and are more about their fitness and health than ever before. So this comment doesn't make any sense. But again, she's just embarrassing herself. And Candace responds, okay, guess I'm a Zoomer Zoe boy who reports everything to HR then, because your husband would not be permitted to chain smoke around me. Not sure what kind of middle school or peer pressure tactic these are, but I'm a 37-year-old adult, mother of 5, and it's not going to work. This is a response that any woman would give. And what's interesting is the fact Candace posts this, and then all the vitriol goes to Rachel, everybody in her comments are now calling her crazy. You're stupid. What are you talking about? Why are you saying this? Nobody likes smoking. Why are you even coming in this conversation? This has nothing to do with you. It's between Candace and Andrew. And it goes on until she was forced to post. Not forced to, but she realized the tide was turning against her. So she posts this. Candace, I'm a 46-year-old adult mother of 5, and your BS isn't going to work on me either. I don't believe for one second that you thought Andrew was going to show up to an in real life debate and chain smoke next to you. I thought obviously that you were referring to a video debate if this was a stipulation. She didn't think it was a video debate. We've all seen. He's gone on Joe Rogan's podcast. He smoked. He has had to leave outside the whatever podcast to smoke. He enjoys smoking. And there's nothing wrong with it. If he wants to enjoy smoking, fine. But everybody don't want to be around that nasty itch. Nobody does. And now you're implying that I'm trying to peer pressure you into letting him smoke near you. Have you lost your mind? You can't be serious with this. It's absurd. No, you're absurd, Rachel. You're being absurd. You started this whole thing about the smoking and soy boys and going to HR and somebody me tooing when a woman just made a regular request of, I don't want to be around the secondhand smoke. All the response that could have been had from Andrew was like, oh yeah, if we're in your home, I'm not going to smoke. End of conversation. You're the one who turned into something more. And now there's a reader context underneath this. And, Candace never said he couldn't smoke virtually, because that would be dumb if she said that he couldn't smoke virtually. Clearly, it was for an in-person interview. But this is what Rachel does. She jumps into these conversations to debate, to defend Andrew. And it just makes Andrew look bad. He has looked like a cuck on more than one occasion. And I'm going to go through a couple of times where she's jumped in, where she wasn't needed nor required, and kind of made the situation worse. And this became internet fodder when it didn't have to be. The first one is my favorite. You can watch, I have my previous video in the comment, when Andrew Wilson debated Charlie. And this is the famous one where he debated her. And when he did so, he had met his match with Charlie, because she asked him a very basic question about his lifestyle. You're saying that you present this lifestyle to the manosphere, but when in reality, your wife has 3 children, has multiple children by multiple babies' daddies. So how can you preach one thing and you've done another? So and this is honestly my favorite clip that has happened to Andrew. So let's take a look.
Your wife has 3 baby daddies and has been married twice before.
Don't talk about my wife. You shut your fucking mouth.
Rachel, are you there? Can you hear us? Rachel?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did you not have agency when you accepted this debate with Andrew?
Yeah, I did.
Then what did he do wrong? You do not sound like a person with a college education. And since you lost and you got humiliated, you thought the thing to do would be attack me. And where did you get the idea that I'm promiscuous? I've spent my entire adult life only in 3 long-term committed relationships, one of which is a, almost 20-year relationship with Andrew now. We're like 18 years in.
I did wonder, hang on, Rachel, I did wonder one thing. Tell me, if she had aborted her children with those 3 relationships, would she be less promiscuous or not?
Yes.
Yeah, she'd be less promiscuous.
Yeah.
These people. Rachel, you should have killed her kids, Rachel.
Maybe she should have.
It's less promiscuous if I kill the children?
I mean, you're not killing children. You're having an abortion.
Did you just say to me that my life would be better if...
Here's the thing. Andrew could have won this debate easily without having Rachel hop in. And this whole story that Rachel's been telling people that she's only had sex with 3 men her entire life, I don't know. I don't buy it. It sounds good. It sounds sweet. And, oh, yeah, she's gotten her heart broken 3 times. And she tried so hard in those 3 long-term relationships. She never had sex outside of those 3 long-term relationships. I don't buy it for a second. And the issue that everybody's having with her is that, according to Andrew, somebody like Rachel would be damaged goods that nobody would want to be with because she's got multiple kids. You know, she's been married twice. She's made 2 really bad decisions. I think either both were on drugs or one was on drugs. I do not remember, but she's made 2 horrible decisions and gotten kids out of the situation. And then she married Andrew, and Andrew took pity on her and married her. Because in the manosphere, somebody like Rachel, who is not even conventionally attractive, is kind of plain or whatever, would not get a man. And Andrew scooped her up. So she didn't need to jump into that debate and say anything. And she also wasn't being attacked. That keeps getting misconstrued by Rachel. She was not being attacked. She was talking about Andrew's worldview. Your worldview to everyone is this, but in reality at home, you have a woman who has has multiple children by 2 other men outside of you. So you're saying to do this, be Christian, find a good wife who is pure and this and that, but in reality, you're doing this. That's a weird worldview to have. It has nothing to do, honestly, nothing to do with Rachel. She didn't need to get up on, but of course, she wants to hop on because she thinks she's helping. The next one, this one is weird because I feel like this girl is dumb. This is not so much a Rachel thing. Again, this is another situation where Andrew could have handled it himself, and he's on with Kim Coulter. She seems dumb, I'm sorry, and we didn't even need Rachel, but here's another example of Rachel hopping.
Nobody's been yelling
again,
except you.
I don't think that you
Literally
have a
nobody's been
relationship with
yelling except
reality.
you.
I don't think that you have any sort of, again, you wanted this debate to bicker over whether or not my opinion is valid or not. I think that I've substantiated the lack of authenticity. I've substantiated the fact I've already, again, you don't want to talk in circles, but you want me to talk in circles.
Well, I just want an actual answer to the question.
I gave you an answer to the question. You're just pretending I haven't. Yes, I have.
When I reduce it down, when you say it's my opinion, Rachel Wilson refuses to dive into key issues about the origination of feminism because she'll walk up to a line and then she stops. Right?
Because feminism isn't the only issue either. Again, you're refocusing on individual things when that's not the point. The point isn't the individual points. The point is
her work's about feminism. Her work's about feminism.
Yeah, and what led to that? And she won't have that conversation.
Yes. Yeah, okay. Literally, she'll come in here and have that conversation with you right now. What led to that?
I think might be a good idea.
Though, if she wanted to do that, she would have done the debate herself and not sent you in her place.
She was running errands. And by the way, I have a larger platform than she does. What do you mean?
I don't care about the size of the platform. That was never the point.
But I do. I care about the size of the platform. So the thing is,
I know, because you pander to an audience.
So is it?
Well, of course.
I'm sorry. Are you here? I'll let you hash out the origins of feminism with her. Then you can give her the critiques here.
Again, this wasn't the debate. You guys.
I think this is a good idea because you're saying that she didn't start at a certain time, and Rach can actually come and defend the claims herself at the moment. But we do have to start with the claims right now. So she's avoiding certain things, those certain things being the racial issue, being the Jewish issue, and that she avoids the origins, the cultural Marxist origins of feminism. So would you like to pitch questions or to Rachel, or Rachel, would you like to just take it from what you've heard?
No, I think that you guys are doing this intentionally to be manipulative, and I think that it's very obvious why.
What?
Okay,
What?
so do you think that I secretly know that feminism came from the Jews and I just won't say it because I don't want to
Again,
get
that's a
in
really gross
trouble?
minimization of what I said. I think that again, you'll address certain problems, but not others, and that is one of the problems you won't address.
Okay, my second book that I've been working on for the past few years, which is coming out later this year, is actually about because you're under the false assumption. You said I do the deep analytics. You're right about that.
So I'm not going to keep going. Again, the interview was Andrew Wilson versus Kim Coulter. He had been on the entire time. I think the Kim Coulter, who I do think is a little dumb, fine, whatever, that's my personal opinion, mentioned mentioned Rachel, just in passing mentioned Rachel. Next thing you know, it's, oh, she's not here because she has to run errands. Here, Rachel, come sit down and have a debate. Like, it's just odd how it can't just be, she always has to come in and come onto Andrew's platform and help in some kind of way. And the last one, this is how I actually got introduced to her, was on the Whatever podcast. I think Andrew went to go smoke, and then this happened.
Rachel's coming. Is she wearing her pink
Her pink sweater.
sweater? It's a good. I think it's a good look for Rachel. The pink. It's a good look. So just curious though.
Oh, wait, now I can hear them.
Rachel!
Oh my goodness.
There she is.
Wait,
I can't, I'm not even in frame. What the heck?
Can we raise her seat up? Can we get her booster seat?
Look at that, a happy
get-
marriage.
Can we get Rachel a booster seat? Can we? Oh, there's Andrew with the cigarette.
She needs that
We need
PPL pillow.
we need Andrew. We need Rachel
This
to.
way. Oh.
Can we
I
get
literally
Rachel a
got
cigarette?
dragged out of bed for this. This better be good.
So he actually did go and get her up for this, or which is insane. That again, just debate the women in front of you. So what, they make comments again? They're commenting about your worldview and the woman that you're married to. They're not asking, "Hey, bring Rachel out." They're commenting, they're debating you, and this keeps happening. So I mean, if
I
a little
hear
bit
my
more of
husband
it,
is
but
a woman-hating misogynist, and I'm here to show proof of life. He unchained me from the stove just long enough to be here. So
She's out of the dog cage.
how
for
can I
this,
help you,
guys.
ladies?
Who?
So have you watched your husband talk to women on the podcast?
Yeah, I listen to every single podcast he does. I've also been on the podcast, and I debate women all the time myself.
Okay.
I'm going to pause right here because something else I want to point out is that when they say they debate women on the podcast, they debate OnlyFans models. So there'll be a bunch of OnlyFans models saying goofy stuff, and maybe like one larger woman or one girl who says she's a therapist or whatever. It's always like a weird setup. I've never actually seen them debate actual educated women. I've never seen that happen before. It's almost like when Anna Kasparian debated Pearl. Like, she was Pearl was so used to debating OnlyFans models and girls who were silly, when she actually had to go up against somebody educated, now she looks like a dodo bird. I would really be curious to see what Rachel looks like up against an educated woman who is not a super feminist, but is just an educated woman who is worldly, and seeing how that debate goes. But I don't think it's something that she would ever do. She might, I don't know, but yeah.
In fact, I was listening to you earlier describe how you think that men should pay for dates with women who want to be equal, don't want to give them children, and also want to have their own careers. And that absolutely blew my mind.
You don't think that men should pay on the first date?
Oh, I think they should pay on the first date for women who are going to be wives, not for women like you.
I wouldn't be a wife?
Not if you're going to refuse to give a man children, have to
It's
have your
not
own career working outside the home.
It's not refusing
and
to give
split
a
up the
man
chores. No,
children.
you're a roommate. Why would a man pay for you if you're just a roommate? Do you want to be equal or no?
Well, I have a conversation with my partner, and we've discussed having children.
Your
I'm not
partner.
taking away from them having children. We've decided together that having children is probably not the best idea.
If you're equal partners, why should he pay for your stuff?
So that's kind of how the debates tend to go. And I'll say this, and I said it earlier. I maybe not have said it, but here's my whole thing with Rachel. I don't think Rachel is for the manosphere. I don't think she's pro men. I don't think anything like that. I think she is just pro Andrew Wilson. No matter what. I think she is extremely grateful that Andrew, um, who is he's I mean he's not butt ugly or anything like that. He's a decent looking man who has a career, and he took pity on her and married her, and they have built a life together. And Rachel is grateful. She is unbelievably grateful, and her loyalty to him is unwavering. Like it is absolutely unwavering. Not just loyalty. It's not just loyalty as a wife. This is the level of loyalty that she has of Andrew. Is almost like she worships him as a god. And when you look at her behavior on these shows, when you look at her behavior jumping in arguments for him, she is doing everything she can to prove to him that I am worthy, that I am enough. Please don't ever leave me. Please keep me. I want to make you happy. You want me to write the books. You want me to say the stuff. I will do whatever it takes to ensure that our family stays together. Now, it's one thing to be a loyal wife and a good, strong wife. I'm a loyal wife. I am a strong wife. You know, I get annoyed when the waitress doesn't bring my husband's food when everybody else's food come out. Like I know that sounds crazy, but I get all of that. But that loyalty and what Rachel gives Andrew is something crazy. And I just wanted to point out the one thing that she did say that on oh, sorry, the one thing she did say on Twitter that kind of sums up her worldview. Her worldview isn't that, you know, men are the best or anything. It is that there is no world in which I would be the person I am without Andrew. So this is the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Her whole thing of there is no world in which I would be the person I am without Andrew. She could have, if she would have said more, like I would be nothing without him. I would be pathetic, useless person without him. I can buy that. This is what she thinks. And again, it is one thing to know that your world, you know, would not be as happy maybe or as fulfilled without your husband. It's a whole thing to have wrapped your entire being into what your husband is and what he represents. And that's all you are as a person. That's how Rachel comes off to me. And who knows, she may see this and have her commentary. I do not care. But that's just how she comes off to everybody. And slowly more and more people are noticing that there's no nuance to her. It's just anything that Andrew does is perfect, right, wonderful. He's pro-right. He's pro-manosphere. I have to do the same thing. You know, he's a father of my children. And he's even made some weird comments about how he loves his children differently than he loves his stepchildren. And she just goes along with that. It's odd behavior to me. So those are my thoughts. Those are my comments. Let me know. I will be interested to watch the Candace Owens and Andrew Wilson debate. You know, this conversation was more about Rachel than that, but I would be interested to watch the debate because what Candace is saying is definitely coming off like conspiracy theories. But the fact that we have Andrew on some weird Charlie Kirk worshiping thing is also odd. So they're just two sides of a very interesting coin. So I think the debate would be interesting. He's got a crowdfunding page right now, trying to get enough money to do the debate. The goal is 300,000, and they've only raised $49,000, which is good, I guess. I don't know what the date is on when they need to have this money for the debate. Of course, it's give, send, go, of course. So yeah, those are my thoughts, and I hope the debate happens. I hope they raise the money. I won't be donating at all whatsoever. I don't care that much to donate. So listen, this is an obscure video for me. But drop it in my comments. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're eager to see the debate, and let me know what your thoughts are about Rachel Wilson. And like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys for the next conversation. Bye.